Good morning. It's Sunday, August 2, and we're going to go for a walk in the back garden and see how we're doing. Summer is well on its way. Flowers are blossoming. Plants are growing amazingly tall. This is Diane's fairy garden. And it is flowering. And indeed, our entire yard is flowering. Let's pull back and see what we can see here. We'll stay there for a moment. We're going to go straight up into the canopy of the pergola. The grapes are coming along. Oh, I seem to see a couple that are turning color. Now, one thing I've learned about grapes is that in order to make large grapes, one should only have one bunch of grapes on each stalk. So I'm really reluctant to cut off the additional bunches, but as an experiment, I'm going to try that on a couple of with a couple of bunches and see if that makes a difference. So here's the canopy of the pergola. Which shades us on days like today. It's a nice temperature today. It's probably 23, 24. And it helps to keep this area shaded, as when I drop the image here, you'll see how bright it is outside beyond the pergola. Oh my goodness, it's bright, and from in here appears to be very washed out. Let's go for a walk around. We have nasturtiums. The flowers are a nice orange color, and both the flowers and the nasturtium leaves are edible. I use them up with hamburgers. It's like adding horseradish to the hamburger. Below we have carrots. The carrots the tops are doing well. Unfortunately, the roots and the carrot itself have really not grown that much. So we'll experiment and thin them out and see it, but it's pretty late to be thinning. Here we have cucumbers. These have really plodded along here. Had them in the ground, or planted them here for several years, and they just have no enthusiasm to grow. Looking for another spot for next year. I already know what I'm going to plant in this inside the obelisk. Let's move to here. The peonies are long gone. The milkweed has blossomed, and the color has now been replaced by bouncing bess, soapwort, and its flowers smell very nice. The blossoms smell very nice. And I make sure it stays. They all stay in this bed. They've done very well. The cornflowers are in their second blossoming. They're very nice to look at. I like the colors. If we go behind, past the fountain, this is the goji berry. These berries look like toys. They're quite nice to eat and evidently very enjoyable, or pardon me, very healthy for you. Very healthy. Starting to get some of the daylilies are blossoming. In this area, I want to increase the amount of daylilies in this area. The foxglove comes up in this area every year. Foxglove's a biannual. Their blossoms are just about done. But they work out quite nicely for here. Next to it, we have potatoes. Let's go across to the other side. Around the arch, we have, let's see if we can get there. No, he's not, oh, there we go. Morning glories around the arch. Background with the ferns are daylilies. Oops. Behind the ferns against the fence are more potatoes. This is the apple, the espaliered apple. Which has apples this year. First time. And now I know how to prune for apples. Prune the espaliered tree for apples. Let's come in the foreground. Red monarda. Oregon fleabane. This is more swamp milkweed that is doing quite well here. Finally, we have dahlias. The hostas have blossomed. Oh, that's a new dahlia that's blossomed since yesterday. Oh, it's one of those blurry ones. Well, we'll have to back up on that. And over this way into the canna lilies. It hasn't quite blossomed yet, but the first canna lily blossom. I've put posts in for grapes. The grapes will grow behind the purple flowers, which are Joe Pye weed, and in the three areas between the four posts this year I've planted zucchinis, and they're quite productive. Fall sunflowers, more zucchini. You can't quite see the grapes. The grape is, oh, yes, you can just see the grape leaf coming here. I have to put it up on the post again. It's decided it would prefer to go that way. Let's go to this part here. In the bed at what I call the deck bed at the bottom of the stairs. False sunflower. Behind it is giant hyssop. And if we come, oh, there we go. Purple prairie clover. So let me back up, and I have two other things to show. Ah, here comes the wind. Let's come outside. Oh, before we do that, let's see if we can catch this. There he is. We have monarch. We have a monarch, which at the moment has disappeared from camera ring. There he is again. We have monarchs in the yard. I've seen mourning cloaks. Oh, there we go. Behind the milkweed on which the monarch is fluttering, the blue flowers are speedwell. Now let's come down the stairs, and I have a couple more things to show. Oh, these are the Hascap bushes. Hascap bush, there's two of them. One here. Lots of Hascaps this year. And one right at the back. You need two Hascaps. They need to fertilize each other, and there were a lot of Hascaps this year. Down on the ground. Oh, you can't see those two, but I have planted trays of native plants. And they've been watered, and some seeds have failed, but there's a sufficient number I'll be able to take them to the lake and use them out there, plant them out there. And tomatoes. This is my first year in planting tomatoes using strings to support them. No longer tomato cages or the spiral wires don't seem to work as well as just plain string. So you string them up. Every day you come out and whatever growth is, you twirl it around the string, and it just keeps growing up and up and up and up. And then the next thing you do every day, let's come to this one. Oops. Oh yeah, I can sense the heat here. Is to ensure fertilization, you just need to knock the flowers back and forth. And that's enough for the pollen to set, and that encourages fertilization, and you get lots of tomatoes. So, oh, here's the grapes from this side. They really do need to be thinned from the roof now. It's getting another couple of weeks, and then we start to open up the area for more light and for the grapes to ripen. There's grapevines on this side as well. I've let them grow for now. They need to be cut back. So, it's been a very productive year this year. I hope you can hear the crickets in the yard. To me, that's a sign of good health within the yard. Lots of water, lots of cover, no chemicals, no disturbances. Oh, this is another look at the dahlias. My goodness, we are doing well here. The one on the left is the new one I that was blurred earlier. These are, I believe these are Arabian Nights is the name of the dahlia, the red one. Sometimes the butterflies just flit in and out of camera range. Virginia creeper up this side of the fence. Shady repose. More swamp milkweed. It's been a very successful summer. And with that, on this very nice, quiet Sunday morning, August 2. Greetings and salutations.